Nixon, excuse me, and Mrs. Gloria Amos, Dr. Nixon and Mrs. Gloria Amos. This is dedicated to you both as a token of appreciation and love for everything you have taught me. Dr. Nixon, you were my first vocal instructor when I arrived at Norfolk State University in 2006, fall semester to be exact. My high school voice teacher, Mrs. Joyce Harding, she knew you. You all had a relationship prior to me coming to Norfolk State. And she had told me such wonderful things about you. Excuse me. So upon coming to Norfolk State and taking lessons from you, I was really appreciative of the push that you gave me, not only in singing, but in performing. Without your push, I probably wouldn't have had as much boldness as I have today in just getting experience as a singer and appreciating the experience and the journey and the process. You gave me the support that I needed, and for that, I am indebted to what you have taught me, everything you have taught me, and what you showed by pure example. I knew as long as Dr. Nixon was singing, as long as she was performing, it didn't matter if it was on the corner of a street. If somebody asked her to sing, she was ready to sing. She sang anything from spirituals to arias and jazz, and I look to you as a beacon of light and as an example and a role model, in a sense, starting out in my vocal journey, because I needed to see what it was like to perform, to see a performer, to see a teacher not only talking the talk, but walking the walk. So thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, honoree Mrs. Geraldine T. Booth, Dr. Patricia Saunders-Nixon.
Darling, wow, where do I begin? I had drawn a curiosity to want to study with you. You were always so mysterious to me. I said, who is the woman that is on the 4th floor that has, it's all of my friends who study with her just have, I hear the lessons and I just hear her teaching them, like I'm just intrigued. And to me, it was like this secret ingredient I couldn't put my finger on. And interestingly enough, Dr. Nixon had studied with Mrs. Amos. And so I said, okay, it's time for me to take things to the next level as an opera singer. And so I had talked with Mrs. Amos, and she encouraged me, which I'm so glad that she encouraged me, to talk with Dr. Nixon about my desire so that it would be a easy and respectful transition. And both parties were fine with it. Dr. Nixon, she gave me her blessing. And I was in for a ride. Oh yes. I was used to not taking the easy way out, But Dr. Nixon, she sang with me in my lessons. Like if there was a certain sound or if I was supposed to enunciate a certain way with my phrasing, she executed that. She would sing, how she would sing the phrase the way I was supposed to sing it. Mrs. Amos, no. I'm going to tell you. I'll speak it and say it, but I'm not going to sing it because you have to understand how I'm interpreting it, and you have to understand how to switch gears, how to get everything ready, and just execute. I didn't know how to just execute on my own, but Mrs. Amos had taught me that. She didn't hold my hand. She had started where Dr. Nixon left off. So I was a junior when I transitioned into Mrs. Amos's studio, and my colleagues had warned me. They said, do not cry on your first lesson. Do not cry. And what do you think I did? I was just a ball of tears. And I remember after that lesson, I said, I'm not good enough. I don't want to do this. And I had a talk with my mom, and I had a talk with a couple of my friends. And my mom was like, didn't you say you wanted to take your opera singing, your technique to a different level because you felt like there was something that you were missing? You just needed a deeper understanding of that you felt like would propel you to the next step in your journey. And I said, yes. And she said, if it was easy, everyone would do it. And based off what I heard and what I had seen in my colleagues, it wasn't something where she just magically appeared or taught something and boom, there it is. You had to work for it. And with Mrs. Amos, I learned to work. She had taught me the value of singing in the mask and the value of protecting the voice. She said, when you leave my studio, you still talk like you are singing. Do not talk like this. You talk in the mask. And I said, so that means I have to talk like this all the time? And she said, no. She was just encouraging me to just keep everything up, elevated just keep it, how do you say it? In the mask technique. I'm fluttering now. My words are all over the place. But Mrs. Amos was a jewel. And without her guidance and without her teaching and instructing and showing me the growth that I had, I wouldn't be where I am today. And I never thought she would say this, but my senior year, I remember, I'm trying not to cry, when I was about to graduate, she said how proud she was of me and how she had seen me grow. She said, when you first came to my studio, you didn't know what you were doing. And I was like a little lost lamb, but I had a hunger. And she said, I saw that you wanted to learn. And that's what she did. And she guided me. And what I'm just trying to say, everybody has different styles of teaching. But when you have a good teacher, they're doing their best to transfer their love and their wisdom to you. It's not always going to feel good. Sometimes you may have disagreements in approach, but if that is someone overall that you value their teaching, their wisdom, and you believe they can take you to where you need to go, cherish them, ask them questions, continue to check in with them, see if you can still take lessons from them. I don't still have my recordings from my previous phone because I didn't download like I was supposed to. But I used to save all my recordings from my lessons. Dr. Nixon and Mrs. Amos taught me that. And Dr. Haywood and Mr. Butler. That, I used to listen to on the way home when I was going to class, in between classes, because when you're learning something, you have to get it embedded into your psyche. So I'm just saying all that to say, Dr. Nixon and Mrs. Amos, I am so, so appreciative of everything you all have done for me. And in addition to my journey, there are my colleagues' journey, my friends, my other professors in the music department. All of us have been affected in some way by Dr. Nixon and Mrs. Amos. They have put their imprint in the program, in their students, and it's just amazing to see the progress of everyone over the past few years. No matter what career we go into, we still hold fast and we can still talk and just dissect things that we learned over the years. We may not have gotten thin, but then the light comes on years later and we're like, remember when Mrs. Amos said this or Dr. Nixon said that? So I just want to thank you both for everything. Just thank you so much, and for what you've done for Norfolk State University's music department. Love you both.